back issue progressions. So starting off mobilising, same way as we've done before, but a little bit more rotation now. So turning through the toes, letting the arms swing backwards and forwards. You can either do one arm or you can just play with two, twisting through your ribs. Breathing in as you're breathing out. Just kind of let your rotation move with your breath. Let it be quite free and easy. If you want, you can just let your hands drop around your waist. Nice way to release your shoulders as well. So taking some nice breaths in and out, rotate. Do about 10 to 20 of these so that you feel nice and comfortable. From there we're going to step forward, circle the arms back. So we're aiming to open up the front of the hips as you step forward, but also opening up the shoulders. So you might have a small lean back, but your back should feel comfortable with this. Bend your knees a lot, take any pressure out of your spine. Again, 10 to 15 of these just to warm your body up. From there we take it to the side, little side bend, creating space between the hips and shoulders. Reaching up, you can turn your head as well to release the neck. Think about maybe letting the bottom arm be heavy and dropping down so you get a nice shoulder release. Again, 10 to 15 of these, going to where this feels comfortable for you. Good, from here we take it into a step back. So stepping back and rolling your arms back and down, this time opening through the chest. Big stretch, pulling your hands to the corners of the room. So you're really thinking about opening this frontal area as well. Bend your back knee. So as you come back, you're still keeping the hips fairly close under the shoulders and not overextending the back. Again, 15 or 20 of those. We then take it into our roll downs. So tucking chin into chest, pulling in the belly, bending the knees if you need to, dropping the shoulders down, all the way down to the floor. Breathe in as you breathe out, push through your feet, tuck your tailbone under, pull the belly button in, ripple up through your spine. Shoulders, neck, head last. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. So again, you want to play with doing at least 5 or 6 of those. You might want to just start off keeping it quite small or bending your knees a lot in the beginning if you're still feeling a little restricted through your back. But you can use your final one to roll yourself down and bring you into abdominal hover. So you're going to bring your hands under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Spread your fingertips wide. Pull up the middle knuckle and press your fingertips into the floor as well as the heel of the hand. Then just press the palms into the floor so you can see you're actually lifting out of your shoulders. From there, we're going to just take toe that's tucked the toes under, and you breathing in as you breathe out. Just think about using a long exhale to lift your knees 1 centimetre off the floor, contracting your belly button in as you come up to hold your spine stable. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. So you can do probably working on, if you find that's really quite hard, you can play with just doing 2 or 3, getting used to it. As you get more used to this, you can start to lengthen your out breath and maybe think about holding a little bit longer. Then just to release the wrists out, we just sit back, stretch into child's pose. Coming back up, always good. You can play with doing your cat and cows. Just thinking about where your spine is mobilising and where you've still got residual pockets of tension. Now I often find we get this bit kind of nice, and then we get the tightest bit, the hardest bit to really release is the upper back here. So if you find that you're really nice and mobile through this lower part, but this top part's quite tight, we can play with almost thinking about pulling the elbows back towards the ribs. So the lower part of the body stays still, and you just exhale, pull the shoulders back. Inhale, press and arch. Exhale, pull the shoulders back. Inhale, press and arch. So you're actively thinking about moving the shoulders back, creating a little indent in the top of your shoulders right here. This stays nice and strong by bracing here. Stretching. And you'll also notice by spreading your fingertips, we're distributing the weight around the hand. So rather than putting all the pressure on the wrist, we're balancing the weight through. Again, take a sit back, have a little stretch, and release all the way through. When you're ready, come back up. And then this time we're going to play with some back work. So you're going to roll onto your back. We're starting to bring the band into this now. Just adjust the camera so you can see me slightly better. So by now you'll be feeling comfortable lying on your back and toe tapping and feeling that you have a sense of control with that. We're going to use that and maintain that sense of control as we add a little bit more arm work. So holding a band, making sure your hands are nice and wide, and the band, it's got a little tension but it's nothing too crazy. Take a breath in as you breathe out. Exhale, pull your belly button in and lift your knees. Back is anchored to the floor by these muscles here, shortening. If you find that you're pushing your back into the floor and using your back muscles, I want you to get rid of the band and just focus on doing this move without the band. So drawing the belly in as you breathe out. So by taking the arms above the head, you're now actively having to pull the core muscles in here to keep your back anchored to the floor. Breathing in through those, breathing out through the mouth. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. So each time you're breathing out, you're really pulling, keeping this really nice and short and pulling up through the pelvic floor, but really important that you find that you're not doing this with your back. Keep pulling in, keeping that steadiness. You're going to go for maybe 5, have a break in 5 because it can feel quite strong. When you've done, just pull in, have a little release of your back. We then reset and we think about moving the legs out to the side this time, maintaining your back alignment. So the first thing we need to do is reset that core, create the space between your ribs and hips, and this time we hold the band a little more narrow. Breathe in. As you breathe out, leg moves out to the side a little bit and you just do a little pull, so the hand's just a little wider than your shoulders, and then back in. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, back in. Exhale. So by dropping the leg out to the side, we're starting to fire up the oblique muscles. By pulling the band out to the side, we're also pulling our sense of balance and gravity to the side. So you've really got to work your core muscles to hold your back in contact with the floor. Again, you might want to do, say, 4 to 6 of those, have a little rest, and then do another lot. Key thing there is use your out breath as you take the leg out and your in breath to return. Okay, so little spinal mobilization with a little core work now. So you're going to sit yourself back to child's pose, drop your head, and then you're going to breathe in, press your hips forward. Now the big focus for us today is to get your hips over your knees. So if you're really tight here and you're a little bit here, I want to think about really squeezing the butt so that you've got the butt over the knees, lengthening up. So you're sitting back from child's pose, you're going to roll up, squeeze, lift. Now if your back is still feeling tweaky, I'm going to say bend, shift, but then bring the hands down to the floor for support and then sit the butt back to the heels. If you're feeling strong with this, breathe in, lift up. As you breathe out, pull your belly button in, arms in line with the shoulders. Come as far as you can where you feel comfortable and then touch the fingertips down. Drop the head. Breathing in, lift. But the big thing here is get that opening through the front of the hips. Feel the glutes engage and then pull your belly in as you push backwards. Keep thinking about shoulders down your spine, pulling in so your back feels comfortable and your core muscles are holding you as you come down. You can do probably about 4 or 5 of those, or if you want to do a little bit more, you can make it more of a flow, but use your breath. So you're breathing in, expanding, opening the front of the body as you breathe out. You use it to contract the core and lower. Perfect. We're then going to take it into one more move before we come into flexibility. So we're going to deadlift. So we've gone from working the core, lying on your back, to being able to do it on your knees, to be able to start doing this and this standing position now. So if we've built our core up, we're able to do it in different positions. So you're holding your band, your hips are going to be under your shoulders, And the first thing you want to do is bring us into a tipped position. So just notice where your spine is. If your tailbone is here, you just want to draw the pelvis under, pull the belly in, spread your toes, feel the weight even through your feet, shoulder blades back and down, and your eye gaze is about 1.5 meters in front. So you've got that long line from tailbone to the crown of your head. Exhale, squeeze the butt, shoulders directly over hips, head directly over spine. Inhale, tip forward. Exhale, stand. Inhale, tip forward. Exhale, stand. So to really activate, you want to think about pressing your toes into the floor as you stand up, squeezing your buttocks together, pulling your belly button towards your spine and pulling up through the pelvic floor, tailbone to pubic bone. I'm going to say do about 10 of those. Remember, you've got to have enough band, tension in the band, so even as you come forward, you can still feel the band pulling you forward. Therefore, you have to use your core to hold you there, and then extra as you come up. The added bonus for this is your band will pull your shoulders down away from your ears. So if you have a little tightness around here, this is going to release. Okay, so that's your work done. Then we come into just a little bit more mobility. So you start with maybe just doing a little twist. So you take one leg back, rotate, shifting back to the other side, exhaling to twist, inhaling to return. Do as many of those as it feels nice. You can think about turning the head if you feel your spine is feeling really nice with that twist now. You can also think about pressing the toe into the floor, pressing the heel away, and we double up with a calf stretch, which is always good. From there, it's always important to release your glutes. Glutes often pull on your lower back. Release the quads, and if we can release all around the hip girdle, then it means that the pelvis can stay in its nice comfortable position, and we're more likely to be comfortable. So you might want to come into swan pose, take some time there, maybe spend 1 to 2 minutes breathing in, breathing out, moving from side to side. Then bring your back foot in, we stretch through the quad, heel to butt, or you can shift onto the front of the thigh. But if you're here, think about rolling your pelvis forward, but notice if your tailbone tucks under, just pull your belly in. You're kind of supporting that lower back. Then we go for swan pose on the other side. Again, notice the difference. Move your foot forward or backwards if you need to. If this feels a little high for you, you can come down. Again, a couple of minutes if that feels comfortable. Bring it into the quad on the other side. Choose where you want to go with this. And then it's really nice always to bring it into the hip flexors as well. So if you take your knees quite nice and wide, tuck your toes together, shift your bottom back, let the tailbone sink down towards your heels, let the chest sink down to the floor, and then just see if you can just bring your shoulders back so you're spreading your shoulders down towards the floor. Take some nice breaths and release out. Again, stay as long as you want to. Interesting fact, by being in this position, having your forehead on the floor creates a release of melanin, I believe, a hormone that allows you to sleep better. So if you have your head on the forehead on the floor, you'll actually sleep a little bit better. Bring your toes together, tuck. If you haven't already stretched your calves again, play stretching through your calves, releasing out. You can never have too many calf stretches. And then from there, you're going to tuck the toes, shift the weight into the heels, bend your knees a lot. Now from here, just spread your toes and notice how much more you feel your calf stretch. Chest to thighs, drop your head, drop your shoulders. Maybe have a little wiggle of your hips from side to side just to release that down the side of your legs. And then breathing in as you breathe out, push through your feet, tuck your pelvis under, rolling up.